And for Brooklyn, they're shooting nearly 70% from the floor. They're putting on a clinic offensively. Out to Harris.
I got yours.
Pass to Durant. Right side Durant. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
I think it's safe to say, guys, that the Atlantic Division was one of the tougher ones in the East last year, if not all of the NBA. But both New York teams improved, and Boston made the playoffs as usual. Philly was able to hold their own, though, even in a down year.
Well, Clark, as you said, Philadelphia did remain respectable against the rest of the Atlantic Division, even in a lost season. Steve, they had a 7-9 record for them, and even while they weren't 500, they certainly played better against the Atlantic Division than they did outside the Atlantic.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is because there's some deep-seated rivalries between teams like Philly and Boston and New York. So even if a team like the Sixers is struggling, their fans are going to bring it on those nights when the rivals come to town.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Yeah, that's all you.
Guys, it might surprise you that when James Harden was back in college at Arizona State, he had an influence you might not guess. Former NBA player and coach Doug Collins, who often visited Phoenix. Harden said, quote, "He taught me a lot. He mentored me, told me I had to have a motor. I was nonchalant, just sort of chill. My sophomore year, the reason I came back to college was to learn to build my motor up. He was the reason for that." Guys, always great to have that kind of guidance along the way.
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris.
He's really dedicated himself, and we've seen the results on the court.
From the arc. They'll get another chance. The three from George. A rebound by the Nets. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Here's Irving. Right side, Irving. And that one's good. Irving's got 13 points.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. The 76ers trail by 4. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones a long time.
Find something, you're right.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but a smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
Philadelphia shooting their first free throws of the game.
Well, there's a new ownership group in Philadelphia as of 2011, and in this offseason, they pulled the trigger and brought in new leadership in the front office. Looks like they're jumping on the analytics bandwagon, hiring the former brain trust of the Houston Rockets.
Out to Harris. The Nets working the ball around now. 5 to shoot. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got 3 assists tonight.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And you know what, Steve? We also have to talk about his shooting. I mean, the fact that he copes with tight D better than anyone is something to make note of. His percentage stays the same, and if he's wide open, he's automatic.
And back to the Sixers. I guess for the Wall Street, going mathematical is something they will stay pretty comfortable with.
Well, it's something that a lot of teams are going to now, Kevin. You know, the new owners, a lot of them businessmen, they want to turn to math to try to figure this whole thing out. Bottom line, though,